going on, everybody? Welcome to the Investing Bros Saturday show, our second one ever, and it's gonna be a blast, everybody. Cannot wait to talk about everything. There's not a whole lot of news. News doesn't really come out that much on. I'm muted. Piper, do you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So for some reason, they are saying they can't hear me.
Oh, you should be good. You should be good now.
All right,
I
everybody.
think it was still muted on the camera side, so they're good.
You guys hear me now? Hear me now? I'm gonna wait to see if I see a lot of red stop signs. Good. It was at this time. It is this time Tim knew he was muted. Back. Good now. Good now. There we go. Let's refresh this. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Saturday edition of Investing Bros. Oh, it's gonna be a good show. Man. Hey, listen, this is Investing Bros. Technical difficulties are a part of the game. That's why you guys come back every single time to see what could happen now. But we got it fixed, guys. Got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to redo my intro. You guys got to, if you can read lips, you know exactly what we're going to discuss in the show. If you can't, you got to hear me say it right now. And that is two big stories. Not a whole lot of stories to talk about, but we will talk about Jerome Powell's speech yesterday at Jackson Hole. Price action is kind of acting like a nothing burger. However, there were some serious statements made, things that we do need to break down and talk about how they will have an effect on the future price action, not even just crypto, stock market as well. The other one is this week was the Rare Evo conference, a Cardano conference where Charles Hoskinson made a massive claim that Cardano will be the biggest cryptocurrency in this next bull market. We're going to break that down. Is that actually possible? What could this mean? You guys know we love Cardano here, but we definitely want to break down a big claim from Charles Hoskinson. We'll also be taking a look at a lot of different charts, interacting with you guys, the community. And at the end, we're not going to talk about this till the end, but I'm going to talk about, guys, it's my favorite time of year right now. And some of you don't care, and that's completely fine. That's why I'm going to keep it to a very small amount. But college football is back, ladies and gentlemen. Got a couple games today I want to take a look at, give my prediction. Would love to hear what yours is, but we will keep the show 95% crypto, and we will not talk football until the end. That is my promise to you. If you guys are excited, go ahead and smash that like button. I am joined by the very amazing, great, freshly retired Army Piper. Piper, how you doing this morning?
Brother, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that we fixed this mute thing with the microphone, and I'm ready to do a Saturday show with you, bro. This is really cool. We're just hanging out today. It's, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. It's Saturday, as in Satoshis. Saturdays.
There we go.
So there we go. But no, I'm glad to be here, man. T-Shroom sent me some nice logos here to add to my setup, and it's good. It's good. I'm just watching charts. I like seeing over there in the corner. Nope, on that corner over there, the far corner over there. There's a little Chart Prime logo. We put some work in here, and we have the ticker back. The ticker tape's nice to have up there. I can sit here and go, oh yeah, my Ethereum's doing good. Bitcoin's doing good. XRP right there above Tim's head just said 2.67%.
I do have an interesting question because I know people always saw we changed the structure of the show. So we used to have that level on the bottom that told you where the show was, but now that we don't, we kind of changed the show. So it didn't really have that. Put a 1 in chat because I'm actually interested. Put a 1 in chat if when Piper talked about the upper band, if that was the first time you noticed that crypto prices are running at the top band every time Piper runs. It is amazing. It is awesome. But I think there's some people out there that might not have known. And now you know. You can always be watching prices while we're talking about news or anything else. You can keep your eyes on what crypto prices are doing because that is up-to-date live price action.
Yeah, but I got to
Great.
get that set up for T-Shroom because I don't think
Yeah.
T-Shroom has it on his, and
I don't think
he
so,
said
no.
he had some issues with it. So maybe when I'm out there in Florida in December for my vacation,
Yeah.
vacation number 2 of that I got lined up, I can go over there and see him and go, all right, T-Shroom, let me sit down and let the Piper, lead the way
Let
here.
the piper do his piping. That sounds wrong. Okay, we're gonna keep moving on into our
Yeah,
Saturday show. Also,
I'm not trying to go to Florida and do some piping. I'm
yeah,
just
let's you could say you're gonna go to Florida and lay some pipe. There's a lot of different
Tim,
innuendos that
every
could.
time you and I get together, these conversations go awry. I'm just going to put that out there, man.
And this is what's really sad, Piper, is that I'm trying to be innocent here. I'm trying to be genuine. You are a piper. What would a piper do? A piper would pipe. A piper might, if you were actually in the plumbing business, you would be laying pipe. But of course, our culture has to go and take sentences like that and just make them dirty. And now it's the default brain. You think that we're talking about something different when we're being innocent and talking about some good, hard, honest work. Laying pipe.
So,
All right, we're gonna move on.
so I got to tell you, no, see you brought it up. Now I got to go show people. Let me jump over here. Here we go. Let me pull Tim in there. Tim's there. See, there's Army Piper right there in my full military regalia, playing the bagpipes with the air defense, artillery, pipe, and drum corps. And what I used to tell people is I knew how to squeeze, finger, and blow. So there you go.
Great skill sets when you're a piper. Great skill sets when you're a piper. So I'm going to say, all right, now we will move on, guys. We did promise you 95% crypto. I think we're falling short. So now we're going to update that to 90% crypto today, guys. But remember, we're also going to be engaging with you guys a lot. You get a lot of time. Ask questions in chat. We will be answering as best we can. Let's go ahead, though, and read some names because we start every single show with the names. First commenter of the day. I got to go because I did cover this up, but I do believe the first commenter was Joe Nickel. Joe Nickel was our first commenter of the day, followed by Mr. J saying morning. Eric Wallen coming in third place says first, but he later realizes it, so he admits defeat. But third place, you still medaled, Eric Wallen. That's a good job. Congratulations to the top 3 of you. Who else is here this morning? Crypto Mini Bikes is here. Bedridden with the Blue Wrench is here. Who else do we have? Ninja Glock. Taylor Warren, my old wife. Love seeing her in chat. And she's not old. She's very young. So I don't know why I said my old wife. Remington Peralt is here as well. Crypto AI is here. Nancy Croy is here. Let's see. Who else do we have? Redman, good to see you here, Redman. Of course, Redman, moderator over on the BitBoy channel. Get to see him every single day over there. So good to have you in chat. By the way, if this is your first time ever watching Investing Bros, put a 7 in chat. I already asked for a 1 for something else. Put a 7 in chat. Some of you guys, this is a running joke at this point now. Multiple Investing Bros community will put a 7 too, but I'll know the difference between the real 7s and the fake 7s. So put a 7 in chat if this is your first time. We're so glad to have you here. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to get everything you need for crypto. But a couple more names we're going to read here in chat. Dustin Singer, Yair Navarro, Susan Shrum is here. Servando Estrada. All right, here we go. This is a special now for Saturday because I think he has to work in the week during our other show, so we don't get to do this. Piper, you know the drill. Servando Estrada.
Servando Estrada.
There we go. One of our favorite names to read, and it breaks our heart. We don't get to read it every single day, but we understand. We understand it can be early for some people, so we're just glad to have you here today. Ada Ace is here as well.
Crypto Brats in here.
SAS Finance, Mike Lowry, Chili Rainbow. Oh, that's a good names. OC Pet Doctor, and let's go one more, and then we're gonna move on. Tizzo Cars and hashtag Crypto Money. What a name! What a name! Got a lot of 7s in chat. A lot of 7s. Listen, Marcy So Fresh, you might be real. Chili Rainbow, you might be real. Elliot Locke and Mellofellow are the biggest liars. Victor Lopez, you might be real.
Crypto Degen.
Crypto Degen. I don't think I've read that name.
I don't think I've seen that one. Nope.
We have some new names here. I'm loving it. But now you guys are ready for crypto. Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Piper, you weren't with us last week. We don't necessarily need to do a full-on economic update, but let's start with liquidations. What are we seeing in liquidations today as we prepare and get into the charts?
It's funny that that's what you wanted to go to, Tim. I already had it pulled up. I'm just saying,
Boom.
man.
I listen.
So yeah, check it out, guys. Bitcoin, not that bad. Had $4.7 million total. 1.63 million of those were long liquidations. 3.03, so 3 million. We just call it 3 million. Was
Not a
short
lot.
liquidations. No,
Yeah,
it's
not a
not.
lot.
24 hour total. 20.5 million. I think we had a lot of liquidations this week, Tim. A lot of
We did.
liquidations this
We
week,
did.
and I think a lot of people are just kind of they try. Here's what happened. Trader mentality 101. Oh, this has got to bounce here. I'm going to enter. Bam, it keeps going down. Okay, it's going to keep going down. I'm going to enter another trade. And they get into the cycle of revenge trading. And you'll see the liquidations get less and less and less over time because people realize, okay, I'm just going to wait and get a trend here. That is why we say in trading, the trend is your friend.
Yeah.
So there you go.
True.
There you go.
Very, very true. So what else we have? We got liquidations. What do we got? Truflation going on.
Trueflation, I actually didn't pull up because I don't know that they do anything on the
Real change.
actual. I don't
Yeah,
think it
it's
does on
the
the
same.
weekends.
I pulled it up. It's the same as yesterday. So
Yeah,
it
it's the
might.
same as
Yeah.
yesterday. Yep, no change.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that that did. I left it alone. I do want to pull up and show you guys what's going on this coming week because it's Saturday, so we can line up next week. We're going to have Jolt's job openings on Tuesday, guys. The big one though is going to be next Thursday, the 31st. We're going to be getting PCE data coming in, so that's what
Right.
I'm going to be watching for next week. Is Thursday for the next big piece of alpha for me to absorb, analyze, and make a plan. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's go. Go to my screen. Go to CME futures because this is where again. Sometimes CME. There are days where I'm like, let's just skip CME futures. It's the same as yesterday. Nothing changing. Especially after Jerome Powell speaks, this stuff can get crazy. You guys are going to see right now. 80%. We're down to 80% probability we're going to get a pause. That's still high. That still means more than likely, guys, September, unless something comes out with CPI data the week before, then we're going to get a pause. But you're seeing 20% now predicting a rate hike. So this gets very interesting because now you're starting to, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is new, guys. This is new.
That is new.
46.7% are predicting that November will get another rate hike. Now, that's not 50%, and it's barely above the prediction we're going to stay paused. So a lot could still change here, but I'm telling you guys, markets move based off these predictions, even if they end up changing later on. So this is a big deal. This is a bearish thing, guys. We now are predicting that the rate hikes are not over. What are we saying for December? December is saying that we will pause and stay at 550 to 575. January, what are we looking at? They're saying now January would be a rate cut. 44% saying we're going to go back to 525 to 550. Of course, a lot of these people that are voting on this might say that we're never raising up. So they might be saying, we're not going to cut. But somebody clearly is voting that a rate cut would happen in January. However, that rate cut would only bring us down to where we are right now. So that's not necessarily that bullish, guys. March, we're going to stay at 525 to 550 is the expectation. May, 525 to 550. June, yesterday was the prediction we get our first rate cut, and that holds still that it wouldn't be the first one. If we do get one more rate hike in November and then cut in January, this would be the second rate cut, but it would be the first time we go down from where we currently are right now. So, guys, not necessarily a massive shift, and we're going to talk more about Jerome Powell and Jackson Hole here later on in the show, but I can tell you this right now. Even though price has not reacted yet, the predictions are, and a lot of times those predictions come before the actual price movement. So be on the lookout. To be fair, this is kind of what we've been expecting. We did say on this channel, we believe that the bottom 25.2 is not necessarily going to be the bottom for this downfall. Let's take a look at Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, ticking down a little farther yesterday, down to 38. Let's take a look at what coin
fear.
market cap.
It's been a while since I've seen the fear down there, bro. I just got to say
I know
that.
it's good to see it again down there. Honestly, after hovering at the 50s for so freaking long. Let's take a look at the the coin market cap update here. Not a lot of big movers, and we kind of could have suspected this when we were looking at liquidations. There just was not a lot of movement. XRP up 1.62%, back up above 52 cents. But I wonder, I mean, so that's 1.6. We have 1% for Tron, 1% for Dogecoin, nothing major. Polkadot 1. I mean, nothing's major for anything. Toncoin up 3.27%. Definitely looking like the leader of the top coins. Let's take a look at the top gainers overall. Sui up 7%. Interesting. Did something happen with Sui, or is it just because it's that far overextended to the downside? Up 18% over the week. So I have not looked into it. Let me know, chat or Piper. Did you guys see any bullish Sui news here recently, or is this just a bounce from being overextended to the downside? Would love to get your guys' opinions. Let's see. Monero up 4%, but it's still down on the week. This was one of the ones that had big downsides earlier this week, so that one makes sense. It's just bouncing back from a dip. Someone said, Red Elephant says no coin market cap. Tim, listen, Red Elephant, that's on the BitBoy channel. I have no personal beef with CoinMarketCap. I like CoinMarketCap. I'm gonna read them here on this channel, but that is funny. Maker up 4%. Who's he? Someone else said can't read the ticker amounts.
Yeah, I just took it off. It's gone.
Oh, okay. Oh, they noticed. By the way, thank you.
Oh no. They were saying they couldn't read it because it was too small, like on their phone and stuff. So I just took it off.
Interesting.
It's all good. It's all good.
Thank you. Maybe a Band-Aid for the super chat saying DGen the like button. I cannot agree more. Smash that like button right now. Also hit that subscribe button while you are at it if you have not already. So have a couple gainers today. Let's take a look at our biggest losers. Thorchain down 5.28%. Pepe continuing to go to the downside.
We talked about that yesterday, Tim.
I know but we did see something. Oh, by the way, earlier I think we saw a gift from Eric Wallen for a Bros membership.
I was gonna talk about that. Yeah, he was talking back and forth to Dave. Yeah, he was talking back and forth with Dave, and then it's random when you buy those memberships.
But if you collude on the timing of it, and Dave's just
exactly, and they nailed it. They nailed it. It was beautiful. Well done, Eric Wallen.
That's a dangerous endeavor to give Dave Digital. Listen, we all know what happens when Dave Digital gets a blue wrench. Imagine what he can do with a membership. It can get crazy. But also thank you to Mr. J using his silver super chat. He said, can we get Chart Prime sticker or badges, whatever they are called? Yeah, Mr. J, great idea. We will get working on that. Let me talk with Cryptex and T Shroom have been the one kind of creating those stickers. So let's work on that. That's a great idea. Going back to Pepe real quick. I saw something this morning from the Pepe account. In fact, let me go to X real quick. Let's look up Pepe. It's a Saturday show, guys. We're having fun here. We're going to get into charts here in just a second. But I saw a long message from this account, I do believe. Was it this one? Pretty much, yeah, very long here. I didn't read the whole thing. But they do in this message, this is from the Pepe account, they do talk about the referencing of this very fishy stuff. It does sound like Pepe is not going away. It was not officially a rug pull, but there were some bad actors in the beginning. Guys, that's like a broken record in crypto. Crypto is such a beautiful place with such a beautiful potential, but there are bad actors everywhere, and it's crazy. But Pepe, it looks like what was happening, according to this post, was it was cleaning out some of the old guard that still had ownership, and now that they are gone, they can build it the right way. Now, take that with a grain of salt because it's still a meme coin, guys. It's not like Pepe's this legitimate coin, legitimate token. They're not like Shiba Inu, who's actually trying to get legit now after starting as a meme coin. So take it with a grain of salt, but this was an update to what we were seeing happening with Pepe, but they're still down today. H-bar is down as well. Optimism is down. Astar, so there we go, guys. There is our coin market cap open. It is time to jump into some technical analysis. Of course, brought to you guys by Chart Prime, the best indicator in the game. The oscillators are beautiful. The indicators are amazing. Listen, guys, everyone has their own tool they love. For me, I love fundamental technical analysis. I love it. Let me tell you why Chart Prime is my choice for technical analysis assisting tools. Because there's so much you can do with fundamental technical analysis that a lot of times I see paid indicators that I'm like, you're not telling me anything new that I could not have found with basic. Chart Prime, I'm telling you right now, there are things that they offer I've never seen in a free version or just using fundamental technical analysis. It helps me find more confluence. It gives me more data to go on, and it is predictive. A lot of times I see these other indicators that help confirm things or they repost things, whereas Chart Prime that actually signal predictions for what's about to happen. And I cannot tell you how many trades I have entered and won early because I had Sharp Prime predicting a movement rather than waiting for a trend to happen to confirm. It is a great, great indicator. Check out that link down below for 45% off the first month or first quarter purchase. Let's go ahead and jump in here and do charts. I'm going to take a really quick look, guys. We said it before. Nothing happened, though, after Jackson Hole. This is the 4-hour chart. Guys, when we did the show yesterday, by the way, the show was right here in this range, right here. We had a little volatility because Jerome Powell, there's a little bit of bullishness, a little bit of bearishness, and then look at the price action since. Other than the volatility that started out between we dropped to 25.7. Some people freaked out. We rallied up to 26, 294, 26.3. So that's a 2% volatility. After that, it's like nothing. Like the volatility got back down to 1%. And it was a nothing burger in price action. But like I said, he said something. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit later. I do think there's some things that are going to spice up the Bitcoin price. As far as oscillators are here down the 4-hour chart, they are kind of evening out there right in the middle, which is a classic statement that nobody likes to hear. This could go up, could go down territory. I would recommend this as a no trade zone. I wouldn't necessarily exit a trade either. You guys know I believe personally that we're actually going to see a drop down to 25.2, a bounce up. There's going to be something, sort of FOMO that gets put in there that actually spikes price back up to this blue line somewhere in this yellow box, 28.3, 28.6, I'm not sure. But then we're going to start dropping, maybe because not of the September rate hike, because they're going to pause in September, but then the rate hikes will start picking back up come October. That'll bring us a nice dip in price in Bitcoin. We'll bottom out somewhere on 19.5 or so, and then we'll start our real bull market early 2024. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it, and we're seeing the news kind of back up and repaint that picture. Let me know in chat what you guys think. But Piper, I know we talked about this yesterday. Let's go to your screen and update even some longer term. We actually have a little discussion here for Bitcoin, some longer term price action, some levels that we're seeing on your chart, and let's discuss what that potential could look like.
All right, so guys, I was showing this yesterday, and you guys have seen my Fibonacci channel. But Tim pointed out a flaw in my TA yesterday. He said, Piper, you've got a Fibonacci channel on there, and there's no platinum pocket. You don't have the 887 on there. You stop at the 786, and you talk about it going to the zero line. This zero line being right here, and this was the 786. Well, gosh be darned, for the sake of Tim there. I went and put my platinum pocket on, and it kind of has changed the worst case scenario for me of breaking the 786, guys, because we had talked about the $10,000 range down here, right? Because if we break a range, we go to the next range. Throwing the full platinum pocket on here, it shows me some very interesting stuff. And Tim, I don't know if you went and took a look at this, but check out, if we break the 786 and we break this trend line that I said had to be held for support, and we come down to hit the 887 to be inside of this platinum pocket, look what it's lining up with here beautifully on the weekly, from the all-time high to current on the fixed range volume profile. This is your point of control, and this is your value area low, and it's going to be hitting right on the platinum pocket of the 887. So thank you, bravo to you for pointing out that I had one of my most favorite Fibonacci pockets not on my Fibonacci channel, because it has given me a definitive perspective. And Tim, let me ask you a question. If price action, say we did trade in here and it did break through this, and it came down sometime in third quarter, October-ish, November-ish, right? Especially if they're talking about November, we get another rate hike, right? And we did just flash crash down into the 887. Tim, what would that be?
Give me sorry, just saying. So say that question again. Sorry, I've got.
I said if we flash crashed from the rate hike in October, November down to the 887, What would that be for us on
That'd
the
be a,
chart here, Tim?
that'd be a double bottom, which is a great question here about what's going to happen with that. And Piper and I started this discussion pre-show, and then we said, "Hey, this is amazing. Let's save this for the live show." So this could happen. Let's go ahead and go back over to my screen here, Piper. But I want to take a look at history of price action for Bitcoin and talk about what this would mean, because we have been very much comparing this bull market, pre-bull market rally to what happened back in 2019. And notice I've color coded timestamps and time periods throughout Bitcoin's history. We usually hit bottoms around this red mark. Back in 2015, we did a little bit afterwards, but historically, the red lines, that's the bottoms of bear markets. The peaks are the green lines. So we always have about a year separation between tops and bottoms. And then it's this whole, after that, a 3-year cycle to get back up to new highs. We're seeing a lot of similarities back to 2019. I mean, just look at this. The bottoms mark the reds perfectly. You start this little climb. Of course, it looks a little more parabolic back in 2019 than right now, but you kind of fizzle out and hit your peak a couple of months before the yellow line. You come down here, and yeah, COVID brought us lower, but if COVID wasn't a thing, a black swan event that no one could have predicted what would happen with that, the bottom would have been back here at this yellow line. The yellow line we have here, continue to mark this out, is, by the way, this is every single one of the lines is 51 weeks separated because it's not quite a full year. It's not a 4-year cycle. It's a 3-year, 11-month cycle, 3-year, 10.5-month cycle. So you got to kind of account for that. This is the end of October where this yellow line is. I think we're dipping to that level. I think it's going to take a lot of momentum to come down far. Also, if you go back and look at 2019, we did not drop all the way back down to the bear market bottom at 31.96. Not even the COVID crash took us all the way back down there. We hit what was a former resistance level with that touch. I'll touch on that for a second. If we end up double bottoming, Piper, that would a little bit more look like a little bit different timeline, but that would look a little bit more like 2015. And so when you're looking at this, let's look at this separation. We had a double bottom back in 20. So we started in 2015. The double bottom happened late 2015. This is a 31-week period, 32-week period, 31-week period. So that took some time, not quite a full year. My concern would be, we could do it, but if we did double bottom, let's say that October, because I do think October is an interesting spot to watch. We're looking at 51 weeks. If that happened, that'd be a 51-week separation. Not impossible, but 20 extra weeks is a lot. I still am sitting on the camp of saying I think 2019 is more consistent. And what I would make the argument for, even though 25.2 has been significant, look at the dip back here. Let's zoom in here for just a second. I know some people might be watching on their phone. Maybe some of this is going to make sense. So let's zoom in. 2019, we had this whole period we come down in 2018, and then we had this last level of hesitation, and then the big drop to the bottom, slow accumulation at the bottom, climb back up, and then we retrace back down to that same spot. Well, while 25.2 has been serious resistance, for us, in reality, what are we actually looking at in this area? We're really actually looking somewhere just south of 21,000. I think what's reality was what we're going to see happen. The price action is going to drop down to 21, 22. I think a wick, even on the daily chart. I've said this before. When I'm saying 19.5, 19.7 for my prediction for the bottom, which, by the way, guys, is about sitting somewhere right here. I'm not predicting we spend a lot of time down there. In fact, I'm predicting we spend very short amount of time, maybe an hour, 2 hours at the longest. I think when we look back at the daily chart, we're going to see a daily close somewhere in this region of 21,000 with a wick shooting down to 19.5, 19.7. We're going to close the CME gap that is sitting right here, and then we're going to make a push back up, closing again somewhere in that higher region, and then we'll start moving sideways just like what we did back here. Look back over here. Actually, the bottom's a little bit after that, but I think this is a good time plan to keep it. We wicked and then started an immediate move back to the upside. The wick back here on that date actually only got down to 67, whereas we ended up getting down to 64 back in 2019. But this is what I'm kind of envisioning, everybody. This is what I'm envisioning is a candle looks something like this, maybe not green, maybe red, but the close is way higher than the wick, and then you start a move to the upside. And we've said this before too. If COVID had not happened, Piper, you can't account for this. More than likely, what we're actually going to see happen is this move to the upside, Probably a little bit of a retrace, trading sideways, and then having event right here. We dip after having events, and then explosion starts. That's what price action should have looked like. And so unless someone wants to predict we're going to try to do another black swan event, I think it's going to be very similar. I think we're pulling back down somewhere towards this blue line with candle bodies closing right here around 21, 22. And then we're off to the races to take off in 2024. But Piper, I know that was a lot I just said. Give your case for why you think the double bottom at 51 weeks could be the more viable option.
We can talk it out. It's real simple, man. Like it's the 887 there. If we break the 786, I believe that the platinum pocket, now that you pointed it out to me, is going to be where we catch our support at next. People saw how we were trading inside the platinum pocket on Ethereum and Bitcoin on my charts for months, back and forth, top to bottom. It's just ranging in there. And if we break that 786 on there, and here, I mean, I can pull it up. I was looking up something else here. There we go. If we do break the 786 here, I could easily see us coming down to the 786 or the 887. I mean, and that would be our value area low and point of control here. So if we break this, now I will point something out, Tim, that I want to bring back to. You had said something about 25.2. I'm actually looking on the 4-hour or 12-hour chart here on Bitcoin. I'm actually looking at 25,000 even. It's going to be the bottom of our trade band here. Can you click for me? Thank you. The bottom of our trade band here on predictive ranges. You were talking about predictive tools on Chart Prime? Absolutely. Predictive ranges, not reactive, not lagging. It's a leading indicator. It predicts ahead of time. And yeah, right there, we're looking at 25,000 even almost. It's like $25,025 for that bottom trade band. So,
well, and this is the thing. I don't think that you are like the TA is solid. Like the TA is there. I agree about the potential. I also though wonder though when you're looking at that platinum pocket. We talked about this before. We don't have to bottom at that point. I'm actually wondering if we do bottom around 19.5, and then, like I said, kind of we work our way sideways to touch the lower band, and that's a potential. But a double bottom is definitely doable. Hey, how many of you guys would love to buy a $15,500 or $1,600 Bitcoin? I would love to do it. If I could control that, I would love to. But I also have this feeling that that is a level that people are going to look at. Remember, I've also said this before. I think the FUD story, and we're going to move on. We got to get into some stories, and I do want to do some Cardano TA as well. The FUD is going to be that Bitcoin's price is dropping very far. They're going to have to start giving some really low targets, and maybe 11,000 comes back in as a target, people say. I think 15.5, a double bottom, is a target you're going to hear a lot of people talk about. And remember, the way institutions manipulate price is they FOMO people in and they FUD people out. And the way they're going to FUD people out is say, price is going to drop to this level. And then the price never gets that far, so that you as the retail investor are sitting here waiting for a much, much, much lower price that will never come. So the question is, do we start screaming 11,000 and is 15.5 the saving grace of the double bottom? Do we scream 15.5 and 19.5 is the saving grace double bottom, or not double bottom, but saving grace? That's where the wick gets to. I just want everyone to really think, like, do not fall for the traps that they set for retail investors. We've said this before, even if you're not a whale, even if you're only trading with $2 of Bitcoin, be that little sucker fish that attaches yourself to a whale. Think like a whale, move like a whale. Do not fall for the FOMO and FUD. Pay attention to the charts, pay attention to the traps, continue to think realistically, and we'll keep you guys posted on what happens. That's another reason why you guys need to be subscribed to the channel. We are a channel that is not afraid of changing our predictions. Piper, you and I both, how many times have we predicted something, then something comes out, and we change our predictions? This is another very common misconception about influencers, and we're moving on. A good influencer and a good technical analyst and a good helper is someone who is willing to change their mind. When you set a prediction and you become hard-headed and you refuse to change your mind, you could lead not only yourself, but a lot of people down a very, very dark path. Smart people continue to assess data, continue to assess the newest stuff, and they change their mind. And that's what you guys need. So make sure you're watching us every single day. Make sure you're staying tuned in, because you will see us change our mind based off of what's coming out. and it'll help a lot. Now, sometimes we won't change our mind. Sometimes we'll have reasons why, even if things aren't looking that direction, we'll stay still. Like XRP to 55 cents, guys. There were moments where I was like, man, am I wrong about this? But I was like, no, this still makes logical sense to come down this far. Sure enough, you just had to be patient. So there will be times where we're patient, but we're also not afraid to change our mind as well. Let's keep moving on here, though. While we're on this topic, good.
I want to show something here.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So
it's Saturday.
I want to make people understand something here. And if I was to ever do what they say we're not supposed to do in the content creation field of changing our opinion, I would be in direct opposition of what I've been trained to do by the United States federal government and the U.S. military intelligence field for the past 21 years. It's called the analytical process, just for those that don't know. And here's how it's laid out. You have planning and direction, right? This is our problem set. This is what we're looking at. We collect our data. We process it. We reduce, integrate, classify, source evaluation. Yes, source evaluation. Is this source even a viable source of information that we're getting to process here? Then we do our analysis and production, correlate, cause and effect, interpretation, scenario building, disseminate, that's producing the live stream, and then back into the cycle again. And if any of this information changes, this dissemination will change with it. That is the analytical process. This is how professional analysis is done. So if you don't understand that and you want us to say something and stick to it, well, then you don't understand intelligence analysis. You don't understand processing information and disseminating information. And you probably should just put the same stream on and just play repeat of somebody that's giving you garbage. So if you want real information that changes as information comes out and as analysis is redone in this cycle process, then tune into Investing Bros. There you go.
Boom. Love it. Let's do this. Let's finish this out, guys. We are about to talk about Cardano and Charles Hoskinson in just a minute, but I want to wrap up the Bitcoin conversation so we can keep moving on. Let's go ahead and share my screen. This is what we were referring to earlier. Fed Chair, even though price action didn't do much, Fed Chair Jerome Powell warns that more interest rate hikes are coming. Fed chair, let's see some quotes he said here. He has warned that more interest rates are coming. Indeed, speaking on Friday, the Fed chair said that interest rate hikes would be needed to continue to combat inflation that remains too high. Although Powell acknowledged that progress has been made, he noted that inflation is still above comfortable level. Moreover, Powell clearly stated that the Federal Reserve was prepared to raise rates further as flight continued. We're going to stop right there. We're going to break this down really quickly, then move on to Cardano. This is what we're referring to here, guys, is that Powell, there's something that he still wants to accomplish. He acknowledged that some of the numbers are starting to swing in the direction of saying that things are getting back under control. We can go to Brocam for this one, Piper. But he is still not satisfied with where inflation is, clearly, but I still think he's not satisfied with where stocks are, with where crypto is. I think that he is still being told we got to continue to suppress this market because everything is happening in a good way that would make you say it's time to start pivoting. And yet he made sure to use the words, we are still considering rate hikes. Whether they actually raise rates or not, it doesn't matter what reality is. Markets move based off of FOMO and FUD. They move based off of sentiment of different people. And there's clearly manipulation still in the space, whether we raise rates or not, that they want you to believe we're going to. And again, you can sit here and complain about it, or you can move like a whale. Whales are saying, good, this is the excuse to dump some Bitcoin. We'll blame it on Jerome Powell. We'll crash the price, accumulate more later, and then we'll let everything skyrocket. Piper, disagree, agree? What are your thoughts about what Powell said yesterday?
Yeah, I agree, but I do have some concerns because China's going to, here soon, going to be exporting their number one export is going to be their deflation. People are not buying stuff in China. They're in a bad way right now. And so that deflation is going to be exported to the United States, meaning that we're going to start getting less goods because they're producing less goods in China. Just watch, wait and see. When that happens and we have less goods coming into the U.S. because there's less workforce and less demand going on over there, while we still have high demand, what do you think is going to happen to our inflation rate here in the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months?
Yeah.
I think that's why you're seeing some shifting going on with the FOMC rate hike predictions.
Yeah.
And I think that China, especially especially if we see Country Gardens file any type of default or bankruptcy, because we just saw what happened with Evergrande, and they're 4 times smaller than Country Gardens, man. And they're
Yeah.
not just Chinese real estate companies, guys. These are global companies. That's why Evergrande filed Chapter 15 bankruptcy. It's international protection because they own a ton of properties in real estate in the United States also. Don't think Country Gardens don't have property all over the United States. So
Yeah.
that's why I about a month ago said that I was going to risk off with a lot of things, and have been it's been a great call so far. So
There we go. Well, hey guys, let's go and move on here. Let's get into the title story. You guys, a lot of you maybe even clicked on this video, come to talk about Cardano. You guys know here at Investing Bros, we love Cardano, love the project, but Charles Hoskinson has made a very bold and big statement here recently. Let's go to my screen. ADA IOG CEO, that's Charles Hoskinson, says that Cardano is probably going to become the biggest cryptocurrency in the world. Let's read the quotes of some of the other things he said down here. This is during a speech at Rare Evo. He said that this is our challenge. That is our challenge. And this is why I think Cardano is probably going to become the biggest cryptocurrency in the world. I think that it's going to become more than just a cryptocurrency. I think it's going to become the backbone of a new digital nation, a new society, a place where we can finally begin to trust each other again, where we move from don't be evil to can't be evil. Hoskinson's confidence in Cardano's future is rooted in several factors. He believes that the platform's focus on sustainability, scalability, and interoperability sets it apart from competitors like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Interesting. Okay. Cardano's unique architecture, which employs layered approach. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to keep moving on. One of the key levels he talks about is the Alonzo upgrade. Of course, we've talked about that in the past. And then he goes on to emphasize Cardano's ongoing projects in Africa, particularly in Ethiopia. He sees emerging markets as significant opportunities for blockchain technology to make a real world impact. By focusing on these markets, Cardano aims to solve problems that are less prevalent in developed countries, such as identity verification and supply chain transparency. Let's go to Brocam, break this down. Now, I do have to start off, as much as I'm a fan of Chuck, that is Charles Hoskinson, as much as I'm a fan of Cardano, of course, the creator and CEO is going to say it's going to be the biggest. So you can't just take this at face value as anything. I will be the first to admit it. As much as I love Charles and as much as I love Cardano, you do have to factor that in. Why would he not say it's going to be the biggest? But I want to break down and talk a little bit more about the details, Piper, because we've had conversation about this. I don't know if I think that Cardano will be the biggest. I've actually more recently said I think that it's a beauty to Cardano, but the non-relationships with institutions is something that could potentially continue to stifle the price action of Cardano, but it keeps it to be a beautiful thing. And I'm going to say this, and I want to get your take. Charles Hoskinson has never once shown any type of desire to go after institutional adoption, the way we've seen Ethereum do it, the way we've seen Matic do it. Of course, Bitcoin doesn't have a CEO, but we are watching, of course, Bitcoin be adopted and not adopted, but utilized. We see ETFs are going to be coming out here very soon. Whether Bitcoin wanted it or not, they're going to get institutional adoption. You're not seeing that same excitement when it comes to Cardano. Now, this is a bad sign for price action, maybe potentially, but it could be a beautiful thing for Cardano in the long run because his priority is the individual. In fact, the statement, we want to bank the unbanked. The reason why they go so heavily after the continent of Africa is because this is an entire continent with brilliant people, brilliant engineers that are not able to actually contribute even to their own country, let alone the rest of the world, because of the banking corruption. What Cardano could do in the continent of Africa could be phenomenal, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about it. It's one of the cryptos that I trust the most. Their slow approach to make sure things are secured and accurate is second to none in the crypto space. But I think this is a big statement to say that they'll become the biggest. I don't know if I'm ready to jump on that bandwagon just yet. Piper, what about you?
No, I like Ada. Don't get me wrong. I think Ada is a decent project, man. I think it's got a lot of potential for institutionalization and for price action. However, comma, pause for effect. One thing I will say is, obviously Charles is going to toot his own horn there, talking about Cardano, or as Kramer says, Cardanzo. But look, when you talk about backbone, he was talking about it being a backbone of the digital age. Me personally, I don't know why he didn't mention XRP in there as his competition on that. I don't think that's Bitcoin or Ethereum. I think XRP has got its hands in more locations. Well, yeah, I mean, XRP has got its fingers in more pots right now for being the backbone of global digital tokenization than anybody, I think. And then there was another thing in there. Sorry, TBI. Can you go back to that article? There was something else that I saw in there. I should have been taking notes.
Yeah. So we had the quote here, New Digital Nation. Let's see here. Alonzo upgrade, projects in Africa, particularly Ethiopia. Did you read something that maybe I didn't even read out loud? I don't know. Let's see what chat's saying here. Did you see what it was?
Yeah, it was about the evil thing. So the backbone of crypto, period, not just Cardano, is about trustless, right? Majority of them are always built around the trustless mindset of tokenization and stuff like that. So when he's talking about not being evil, well, that you just talked about the ideology of crypto in general, and pretty much just quoted like a portion of the white paper of the Bitcoin white paper. So, like, I love Cardano, but there was a whole lot of horn tooting there with no real music on the sheet. That was. I don't think that Cardano is going to be the backbone, and I don't think that Cardano is going to be the thing that's like the savior against evil money. I think that's crypto in general. So.
Yeah,
love Charles, love Ada. Not the case there.
The only thing I would say, what I do agree with, is we're running out of truly decentralized options. Bitcoin is decentralized. One of the things, like, Bitcoin does not have a CEO. It did have a founder, but we don't know who it is. We just know a name. That's a fake name, obviously. Cardano is one of the few out there that is a bigger crypto that I still believe is truly decentralized. Charles does not have control over it. He can upgrade, he can continue to build it to make it bigger and better, but he doesn't even get to make key decisions. The IOHK team does not get to make key decisions. It is the node operators, it is the people that get to make decisions. It's truly decentralized. And I love that, because the concept that we're getting into with money, and this is everywhere. We were talking the other night on Spaces, which about tokenization in general. You can tokenize, they're tokenizing gold. You can tokenize these other things. But one of the questions I asked isn't even that tokenizing gold? Because the concept is, there's these serial numbers on gold bars that they correspond to. Well, don't we have to trust? I mean, has anyone in this chat, maybe I'm wrong, have you guys studied the serial numbers of gold, and you know how many are out there, and you know which ones are where, and isn't tokenizing gold still, we're trusting that someone is doing all of that work to put that in the digital form? I would be fooled if they overproduced digital currency to make up for the gold that's out there. There still is a trust system there. What makes Bitcoin so good, and I think that Cardano and decentralized currency so good, is what he's saying is we don't have to worry about telling something not to be evil, because I could make a token of peanut butter and jelly coin. I could make the peanut butter and jelly coin, and I could create very strict rules, and I could make sure it was an ethical currency that you guys would have, and it would build value. But if I'm the sole producer, I'm the sole creator, I have full control over the supply and everything else, you have to trust my goodwill to not screw you over. You don't have that problem with Bitcoin or Cardano. They can't screw you over. It's so decentralized, I can't be evil. It's not an issue of don't be evil, because again, I could be a really good person, make a PB&J coin, and I refuse to be evil. But you guys will have to trust me not to be evil. Wouldn't you rather have something where you don't have to worry about trust or not? The evilness is impossible. The manipulation is impossible. That's something I do think Cardano has going in its running. That's why I think it's the coin of the people. I saw people in here earlier There was one thing I saw someone said they disagreed. Eric Wallen says he disagrees. He said they work closely with the medical field and ranching sector. I want to know to what degree. That's great. I'm not saying he has no institutional affiliations whatsoever, but even that, those aren't big deals. We're not talking about massive, billions of dollars of contracts the way we're seeing with Ethereum and Matic, and they're making deals with some of the biggest companies in the world. That's what I'm saying. Cardano and Charles Hoskinson have not pursued. They have not pursued becoming the coin of Apple or the coin of PayPal or the coin of this or the coin of that. They are concerned with individuals, not entities, and I love it. But it does make me question price action. And maybe Charles Hoskinson is not talking about price action at all. Maybe he's talking about usability. Maybe he's talking about effectiveness. I don't know. But of course, I think when most people hear the word biggest cryptocurrency, they're thinking price action. No, we're all thinking price action, aren't we? I'm saying I don't know if price action is going to be the biggest because he's not going after institutions. He's going after individuals. Maybe someday the institutions catch up and say it's such a valuable project and coin, it's so good for the people. We want to utilize it, but that's not his priority. And so for that reason, I'm going to say I love Cardano, and there's going to be a lot of returns from Cardano, and I'm going to hold it, and I believe in it, and I love it, but I'm not yet to the place where I would say it's going to be the biggest. That's just me. Let me know in chat what you guys think. What time do we have? 11:51. Let's answer some questions.
Did you see what Indie Rock Crypto said?
Paul Barron and Jeb Coin take my money.
PB&J. There's your PB&J token right there.
Oh, goodness gracious. That could be interesting. Let's see here. Elliot Locke said Charles has always said he didn't care about the price of ADA. Yeah, I mean, he does. You're right. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe when he says biggest, he's not talking about that whatsoever. Most people, when they think biggest, we're going to think market cap and price action. Just is what it is. XTZ Arsenal, it puts the lime in the coconut. What else is it got in here? Mark Harris has made promises for years, constant delay and BS. You're talking about Cardano? To be fair, I think, listen, it's fair. Like, anyone who, as much as I love Cardano, I'm not going to blindly, like a sheep, just try to defend. Like, there are lots of things that have still gone the kind of question marks with Cardano. There's been lots of things that are released, and they're overhyped, and it wasn't everything that we thought it was going to be. I still believe in the team, and I still believe in the mission long term, and I do think that the difference between what they did between 2020 and 2022 was very small, mostly just hype. I'm one of the ones who said that Cardano had no business being above $3. In fact, you can make a good argument. I don't think Cardano really had that much business being above $2. I think now they do. I think what they've built between 2022 and now and what they're going to continue to build has been amazing. You can't make the argument. I mean, for the longest time, people were like, oh, there's no DEXs. What do they even do? There's no smart contracts. They haven't really accomplished anything. Well, guess what? They've accomplished a lot within the last year. They have built a lot, and they have a lot of room to continue to grow. So I hear you, Mark, but I think that they are delivering on promises here more recently. They never meant to be all the hype that they were. Like, again, Charles didn't care about price at 2 cents, and he didn't care about price at $3, because this is a man similar to what we saw with Amazon and Jeff Bezos. When Amazon price crashed in the stock market back in the early 2000s, and someone asked him, are you concerned? Are you worried? He said, the price does not tell you anything about the operations and what we're doing in this company. This company is bigger and better than price. And that man went on to, with him and his family owning pretty much the entire stock, become multi-billionaires because he was dead on. He did not care about the price. He cared about the product, the service, the business, and it exploded in price. Watch out for Cardano and Charles Hoskinson to be a similar thing. I love the fact that his team doesn't care about price, because that means their focus isn't on price action. Their focus is on delivery and being effective and being good at what they do, and the price will follow. That's my personal thought. But you guys are welcome to whatever you guys have. It's okay to sleep on ADA. I'll keep packing my bags, says Ada Ace. There we go. Cardano is waterboarding its holders. Okay. And then what? Very interesting. By the way, guys, well over 100 people here. We've gotten up here to like 140, almost 150. Make sure you smash that like button if you guys have enjoyed the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. New thing, Saturday mornings.
There's a lot of new names in here today, man.
Oh, absolutely, there is. Love seeing all these names. Let's see here. Anything else you guys comment in? Vito says, I'm with you, Tim. Thank you, Vito. Sure, because Bezos, like Charles, owns founder share price at nearly zero. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay, yeah, we're good with it. Whole Ada gang thinks like Tim. Am I official Ada gang? Here's what I'm saying. Like, I am not like I'm a price action guy. I love learning about these new things, but I'm not a tech guy. I don't know all the ins and outs of crypto. People could run circles around me talking about development and all this other stuff. But, I love price action. I'm going to continue to talk price action. I don't consider myself a maxi of any kind. I'm just an investor, and I'm learning more and more about it. I feel like I'm pretty good at TA. I feel like I've been nailing a lot of predictions of price action. But I can tell you from a business standpoint, the reason I like Cardano is not the price action, and it's not even the technology because I don't know technology. It's the business part of it all. Have you guys ever read the book Start With Why? Great book. But he's laying out the framework for a business to go big, for a business to be successful. And I'm telling you right now, I've seen no other creator of cryptocurrency follow the practical business acumen of Start With Why more so than Charles Hoskinson and IOHK. And that's why I'm a believer in them in the long run. Not because I know that the tech is better. I mean, the little I know, I've seen. I'm a fan of security, guys. I'm a fan of not being hacked. I'm a fan of things not being shut down. I love that part, but I'm not a tech expert. I'm an investor. And I want to invest in good products, good businesses, and I like what Cardano's doing. That's my personal opinion, guys. We have about 3 minutes left here. We're going to transition now. I told you guys the end of the show. If you guys came for crypto, thank you so much for being here. Hit the like button. We're going to talk a little college football. And Piper, you can stay with us and contribute in what you want.
I do want
talk?
to I want to pipe in with
Yeah, go ahead.
one last
There we go.
comment about it. Until I see ADA relisted back on a lot of exchanges after the SEC FUD that came out, that's my hesitation of getting back into Cardano right now. Just for the record, that will be my indicator of it's time for some price action movement back to the upside. Until that happens, though, I'm very hesitant about ADA right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think the price action is going. I told you guys, I'm looking at 18 cents on Cardano, but Cardano's one of the projects. It moves sporadically. I stopped trading it. It's not a coin to trade. I love the technical analysis just to examine things and look for good buy spots and sell spots, but I don't trade it anymore. It's just for me a long-term investment.
I got to ask Mark Harris. He said that,
yeah.
Stop lying, you're crypto maximalist.
He said crypto?
Well, then he corrected it. He said crypto.
Oh, crypto.
Yeah,
listen,
I've got way more US dollars and stocks than I do Bitcoin and ADA right now. So just so you're tracking.
There we go. Chili Rainbow says fantasy football. Here's what we've discussed in our Discord, and we need to do something quick. But Discord needs to vote on it, and our members need to vote on this because it's probably only for members, but we'll do it for silver. What would you guys think about doing a fantasy football league for silver members? You got to be in silver to contribute if we end up doing it. But silver members, chat, comment, let me know. I'll do it if you guys want to do it. After not playing fantasy football for like 4 years, I'm already in 2 leagues. This would be my third, so it'd be very interesting. But let's do this. Go to my screen here. Guys, it's college football. It's back. I love college football. Love the NFL too, but I really love college football. We have a couple games on today. They're going on later. A couple of them are big ones. I think it's pretty easy to pick winners of these games. I want to see in chat. Let's look at a couple of the big ones. Let's not just say who we think is going to win. Price action. Score. What do we think the score is going to be? Number 13, Notre Dame. I think they're going to be a lot better. Great quarterback just came over, transferred from Wake Forest. Can't remember his name. I'm blanking on his name. Great guy, though. I actually followed his recruiting in high school. Great guy, too. But Notre Dame's going to be good this year. Navy, I think didn't they just lose their coach? I think I have to look at it for certain. But Navy, they're always a solid, hardworking team, but the athletes aren't going to be able to match anywhere close to Notre Dame. I think, guys, I'm going to give this one. It's a first game. Got to work out. Got a new quarterback. Got some new players. Got to work out some kinks here and there. But I think Notre Dame wins this one by 17. I think Notre Dame takes Navy by 17. but it's the first week. You never know with college football. So much stuff can happen. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not going to comment on this one. Don't know enough about those teams. Not that one either. We're going to skip. Let's go. We'll just do this one right here. Next week, we'll have a lot more. Yeah, thank you, Eric Wallen. Are you Jeffrey? Not Jeffrey. Jack me offer, Eric Wallen, putting you to sleep. USC, number 6 USC, probably the best quarterback in college football. Probably going to be the number 1 draft pick. Playing San Jose State. They're established. They have a great offensive coach. Guys, I think USC wins this game by 30. They had a lot coming back. USC, I don't know if USC is going to make the playoffs or not, but I think that they're a good team. Indy Rock says 46-6 for Notre Dame. Interesting. That's a lot. I think Navy struggles to score, but somehow Navy can prevent Notre Dame from scoring that much. New stuff, new offense. I just don't think it's a very high-scoring game, but I think my thought is like maybe 10. Somehow Navy gets a touchdown. 10, 27, 27-10, 30-10, something in that range. USC, San Jose State. USC is not known for great defense, but I think their offense is just going to go all over the place. Someone's Indy Rocks at 38-13 USC. Dude, I think 50 something. Let's go 56-17. I don't know. Somehow San Jose State's going to, even if it's at the end of the game when all the backups are in, they're going to score points. So 56-17 USC over San Jose State. Let me know what you guys think. We still have 111 you guys in here, but that's all we have for you in this Saturday show. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the crypto portions, the football portions, any of the portions, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to continue to have these Saturday shows. With
Facts.
that said, we love you guys so much. We will see you on Monday. You guys have a great weekend.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros.